Hello, hello, good evening, hello, crafty friends. Hello, good evening. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Tina Bickford. I am the Tatted Stamper. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Here in the US, located in New Hampshire. So, just give it just a minute and let some more people pop on here. How is everybody doing? If you're here live, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know you are here and where you're watching from. Hello, Carissa. Welcome. Welcome back. Yeah, let's see. How is everybody? Hello, Kathy. How are you? So last week we made a pretty cool, unique card. It's just a double Z fold, but with using a shape. So pretty unique. Had a lot of interest in it. A lot of people, a lot of comments on it. So that's really great. I'm just going to switch down to the desk cam. Hello, Sandra from Oklahoma. How is your weather in Oklahoma? Man, you guys get like tornadoes and stuff down there. We've crossed that one off the list. If there's a chance of a tornado, we're not moving there. I don't know. I don't know how you guys deal with it. Let's see. All right, let's switch down to the desk cam. Where is that desk cam? It's been a long day. All right, let's see. Let's go here. Perfect. Okay. So this is a card that we made last week. This is just that double Z fold card like that. Really, it's simple, an old design, nothing new about the design. It's just a double Z fold. We did this one here. This one's got the gold elements. This one's got the silver. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This one here I did just for something different. I'm not really sure I love the way that the mushroom top came out. I stamped it on the DSP. I don't know. I put some Wink of Stella, but I did the back there. This is where you would sign this one. So we just did little mushrooms on the inside. Cute, cute. And an Easter one. This one is actually going to find a home this Saturday. This one's been sold. That one. And then I did it this way. And this one opens this way. And all of these stand. I wanted to make sure that they stand. So it doesn't rock or anything because it's got this flat edge here. So welcome Lisa from North Carolina. Sandra, just wait 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's the way the weather is in New Hampshire, only with cold, rain, and snow. It can go from sunny and 60 one day to 30 and snowing and ice. So, hello, Mom. Is Dad watching with you? Hi, Dad. That one. So these ones stand. They stand for display. And then I did this one here. You are a ray of sunshine, which I thought was funny with mushrooms. But I did the mushroom on the back. This is where you would sign it here. Like that. So I had so much fun working with these everyday arches dies that I wasn't done. I just wasn't done playing with these dies. So we're going to do a card tonight using these dies again. And I know Barbara, you're not watching now because you're in Australia and you are probably either still sleeping or you are just getting up. I'm not sure what your schedule is, but beautiful card. If you guys are interested in what I'm talking about, Barbara posted one of her cards that design, this double Z oval. She actually posted one over on my Pinterest board. So if you are interested in my Pinterest board, I haven't done the description yet for this video. I'll do that before maybe before I go to bed. I'll put most of it in there anyway, so you can see the link to the Pinterest board. But head on over to my Pinterest board and invite yourself to it. You can add your versions of these cards to my Pinterest board. How cool. Okay. So let's do, all right. So I'm going to do, the one I'm going to do first, I'm just going to show you what this card is, because not everybody has a die machine. And you know, not everybody has dies, not everybody has a die cutting machine, and it's an expense. So, and I get it. So I wanted to do one. Of course, I had to throw some dies in there. So you guys, you know, I just can't help it. But I wanted to make this card like the standard way. If you didn't have the Everyday Arches dies, you could still do this card. So I'm just going to go through. I need to get my ruler so that I can tell you what the measurements are. Actually, I can tell you what the measurements are, I think. Oh, yeah. I'll put that there just in case. All right. So let's start with our card base, which is 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. Just make sure I did that right. Yep, 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. And then this and this can all be the same color as your card base if you want. I wanted to switch this up a little bit. I will show you one alternate that I made where all 3 of these panels were all the same out of the card base. So this piece is 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. And this piece is 3 1/2 by 2 3/4. And then I cut some DSP. My DSP is directional, so I was very specific about the way that I cut this. It's going to fit on this panel here, which goes in this direction. So the 4 1/2 top and then 3 1/2 side. So this is just 1/4 smaller than that because we're layering it. So it is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I also wanted a piece to layer on this. And I actually I cut a piece of white, but I think I may switch that up and put, nah, we'll leave it because I've already got it cut. So this piece here is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. And then for my elements, I wanted a sentiment tag that I could put on the front. So I just die cut this from the Wildflower Designs. And then I had a few elements that I die cut from the Perennial Lavender. And then a couple more that I die cut from the beautiful butterflies. There's a couple of butterflies in here. And you'll notice on the butterfly bodies, they're not solid. So I swiped my ink on a piece of cardstock and then I die cut the bodies from that by just carefully placing the die on the cardstock. All right, so let's go through the steps on how to make this one. And I think this is not a new design. The fun fold design, it's not new. I'm calling it a triple diagonal layer card because I don't know what the official name is for it, but that's what we're calling it. All right. So I am going to take my card base, turn my trimmer up the right way, take my card base, and I'm going to score it. And along this 9 1/2 inch side, I'm going to score it at 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, and 4 inches. Like so. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to just grab my ruler again. This is the problem with having a clear ruler. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm just going to grab a pencil, and I'm going to actually show you how you figure all of this. So if you wanted to make your layers a different size, you could do that. So let's just pull these layers back in. What you're going to do, if you take this layer and you just line it up with the bottom, this is where you're actually going to mark your card base at the score line. So we're going to mark right at that point. And I know you can't see that, but just right at that point, we're just going to mark there. And then this one, so we have, let me just, so that you can see these score lines a little bit better if I fold them that way. You can see them a little bit better there, like that. All right. So this one's going to go on here. And this one's going to go on here. So let me see. Oh, I marked the wrong one. Darn it, I knew I would. Okay. So you're going to mark this one. So on the 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the 4-inch score line, you're not going to mark anything. It's on the 3-inch score line. So if you just line that up at the bottom and just, oh, did you guys see I almost did that wrong? All right. It's been a long day, I guess. And then on that 3-inch score line, you're just going to make that little mark. And then you're going to take your other panel and come down here on the 1-inch score line, and you're going to make that mark. And I just want to make sure I did that right. Yep. And yep. Okay. All right. So if you cut to these exact dimensions, on this 3rd score line, you're actually marking down 3/4 of an inch, and on the 1st score line, you're marking down 1.5 inches. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do some magic with our trimmer. Okay. I'm going to line up my, so I said this one was 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and line up the edge of my paper with the 1.5 inches on this side, which should put that mark right in my, right on there, cutting blade up, and I'm going to bring my blade down to the 1 inch. I scored 1 inch in, and I'm going to cut from that score line up to the edge, but at that 1.5 inch in. So I'm going to just line my blade up with a 1 inch and cut up. Then I'm going to now cut from this one. So I'm going to line my paper up, my cardstock with that. I said it was 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to bring that down. Now that is on the 3rd score line, which is 3 inches. So I'm going to bring my blade right to the 3 inches, and I'm going to cut all the way up. Okay. So now you just have this. Now we're going to grab some scissors, and we're just going to cut down on that score line. And then over here on the 1st score line, we're just going to cut right down to that, just like that. And then we're going to take this point here. We're going to cut from the 4-inch score line on the top down to that point. So I'm just lining up my scissors. No need. I mean, if you want, you can do this on your trimmer if you're comfortable with it, but you don't really need to. There. And then I'm going to do the same thing from the 2-inch score line down to that point on the 1 inch. I'm just going to line up my snips and cut. So now you have this. Move that out of the way so you can see. Okay. All right. Now I am going to grab my bone folder, and I have stuff falling all over the place. And I'm just going to give these things a good press there. And we're doing an accordion fold. Back and forth. back and forth, and there. So now this is what you should have, like that, okay? Now we're gonna take, and you can do this like you can layer your piece on here first. You can put your piece on here. I'm gonna go ahead and layer mine, and I'm gonna use my Stampin' Seal because it is quick, and I want to make the second card tonight. So we're just gonna put that on like so. Adrian from Southern Indiana, welcome. All right, so now what we're going to do, this piece, I'm just going to show you what it, and get that trimmer out of the way. I'm just going to show you this, the 4-inch score line is going to fold in, and then your 3-inch score line is going to fold back, and then this panel is going to get adhered right into that, right in the score line there, okay? So I found that I can just put the adhesive here and not try to put it on the edge of my panel. If you have directional paper, patterned paper, make sure that that is upside right, and go ahead and just put that panel right in there, like so, okay? Now, we're going to do the same thing with, actually, I'm going to just pull this one. I have this one, sorry. I have it in that corner just a little, oh geez, just a little bit too much. No one's going to see that. No one's going to see it. All right. I'm just going to come out from the score line just a hair. Like you're not even going to be able to see it, but just so that that will fold a little bit easier in, like that. That folds a little bit easier like that. All right, now we're going to take our Lost Lagoon layer, and I'm going to go ahead and put this layer on. Now, you can stamp on this, you can emboss this one, you can do, you know, however you want to do, like so. And then this one, so if we hold our card down like this, and then we fold this now in, this piece is going to be adhered to this flap. So I'm just going to come in here and put this on and get it all over my workstation. And then we're just going to line this one up right with that bottom and that edge. And there we go, just like that. Now I'm going to come in with my sentiment, and I want this one to be the "You've Been on My Mind." And I'm gonna stamp in the Gorgeous Grape, and I chose Gorgeous Grape because I wanted it to be a bold. I wanted it to be bold compared to the colors. The colors here are all, you know, very soft and muted. You can choose whatever color you want. So I'm just doing that tap all around my ink pad. And come in here and just press and hold. Don't, oh, darn it. Look, oh, you know what? That actually doesn't look too bad. Huh, I'm going to use it. Look, I doubled. Can you guys see that? Crazy. I'm going to use it because I think it looks kind of cool, and I didn't intend to do that. So I'm going to put that on dimensionals. I'm going to grab some dimensionals. I need more, but I'm going to go ahead and use what I have here, like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this here. You know what I think I'm going to do? Oh Lord, I'm going to get covered in Gorgeous Grape for sure. I'm going to do that trick that I did the other day, where I'm just going to gently like dip the edge into that Gorgeous Grape. And it's just going to be enough so that when I put that white on white, you're going to be able to see the outline of that sentiment tag. And I'm just pressing very lightly. You don't want to you don't want to get too, see, you can see it's just really nice and just a very, very, very thin edge to that. I'm just going to give that a second to dry because I will be covered with that for sure. I'm going to grab my die cut elements and figure out how I want those to go on there. I want that to go on first and then pop these on. I think I may even trim those off a little bit. Is everybody having a good week? I feel like it's been a long week. So I'm just placing this one. I'm holding it on my front panel, but I'm deciding how I want that to land on my card when my card is closed. I want it to be over that panel there, but not on this panel. And then I'm just going to come in with these. I have that. I stuck a dimensional to my finger, so I'm like one finger down here. Okay. So let's put those there, and I'm just going to go ahead and put those on like that, and then start putting my dimensionals on this guy. Like that, and one more there. I'm going to peel that one off, and then these ones. Like that. You've been on my mind, just like that. Now you can use, you know, a different colored cardstock for your card base. You don't need to use white. You can use, you know, something a little bit more colorful. I used white because I wanted to be able to write or have a sentiment on the inside there. And my thought was also that I would use, well, I was going to look to see the corners, spring corners. So my spring corners dies. This is perfect for those, like, just like corner ones. So I could do wishing you an amazing day right here. So you've been on my mind, wishing you an amazing day. We can do that. So I just put a little drop of multi-purpose glue on the butterfly wings, and I'm just going to pick up the body with my take your pick tool and set that on there and do the same there. So I'm going to put some butterflies on the inside. I'm going to put them, I think I'm going to put one here. Grab my take your pick tool and put that one on there. So you can see this guy from the front, and if you open it, you'll be able to see him here, and then you can open it there. So I think this one, the second one, I'll just put right on the inside, somewhere in here. I'll grab this guy, like so. Okay. So now, and you can put embellishments on here, and I think I will put that. Well, let me see what it looks like on there. Wishing you an amazing day. Yeah, you guys, I'm gonna have to do it because it looks. I already know it looks good. All right. All right. All right. Let's try not to mess this up, Tina. Okay. Let's try not to mess it up. So let's put this here. Let it get its shape and put it on there. Hello, Victoria from Montana. Welcome. Okay. I'm just going to tap that on there. I'm going to just grab because I've already got this card kind of put together, I'm just going to wipe this excess. Normally, I wouldn't worry about the excess on the block, but I've already put the rest of the card together, so I want to make sure I don't mess that up. All right, open that up, and I'm going to hold my breath and stamp that right on there. I think I did it. I think I did it. All right, there. Nice, not too bad. So there is our card. All right, that's the easy one. So if you don't have the Everyday Arches dies, you can make your card look just like that. I'm going to be using all of the same components to do my arches die. And I'm going to put, I'll put some rhinestones or something on that after. So let's move this stuff out of the way. And let's do the fun one. I'm so excited about this one. I am having such a blast with these dies. Okay, so I already cut, and so not only did I cut the components, which I will give you the dimensions for, but I paired them with all of these dies because when I was making those other cards that I did on Sunday, I kept grabbing the wrong stinking dies. You get 10 dies in this set, and they're all very closely nested. So I was in a hurry when I was making those other cards, and I kept grabbing the wrong die. The good news with that is that I was able to, because they are so closely nested, you're able to just grab the next one down. If you grab the one size down too many, you just grab the next one down to do your next layer. It's all good. All good. All right. Let's just all right, so let me move those out of the way. All right, we're going to start with our card base. So let me just tell you, it's the same basic concept as putting the other one together. But because I'm working with a die, instead of doing a 4 1/4 inch card, I'm going by the size of the die. So in this case, let me see. This card base is 3 15/16 of an inch by 9 inches. Okay, so we are going to do the same scoring. We're going to score at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to score at 1 inch here, and then 2 inches, 3 inches, and 4. And I chose to use all of the same designer series paper and colored layers so that you can see side by side how different these look just with using dies instead of just straight cut rectangles. Okay, we're going to do some die cutting. So I'm going to do some die cutting and get some of this stuff out of the way. We're going to cut that card base last. So let me just get all of these. I might be able to fit some of these on the die cutting machine all at the same time. Let me pull my die cutting machine in like so. All right, and I have my base plate 1, my thin die adapter 2. I have one number 3 cutting plate, and now I'm going to load up my cardstock. So I'm going to put this one on. Now these were all and I'll have to work on the project sheet for this one. I was not able to get project sheet done, but all I'm doing is just putting based on the sizes that oh, I didn't give you the sizes, did I? Oh my goodness. All right, well, let's measure them as I'm putting them on because they're different sizes from the from the other one. So my DSP is 4 inches. This one is 4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And it's basically just, it's the size for the die that I chose. Same thing with this one. I chose the die and then I cut the cardstock. So this is 2 3/4 inches by 1 1/2. And then this layer, this is my very front panel. This is 4 1/8 of an inch by, come on, 2 5/8 of an inch. And I'm going to have to put that last one on separate. All right, so let's just load that one up. Make sure they're all on there. Like so, and roll it through. Okay. And then I'm just gonna set all of this right aside for now, and let's die cut that last one. And this last one, this is my purple layer, my Highland Heather. This is the middle panel. This one is, oh my goodness gracious. This one is 4 5/8 by 3 1/8. And again, I decided what size arch I wanted to use, and then I cut the cardstock just large enough to cut the die. Okay, and there. And then we have one more cut to do our card base. Okay, so with the card base, all right, did you guys see my post on Facebook how I lost a die? My Galaxy Watch band is magnetic. Yep. So there. All right, I'm going to take my card base. This is my card base that we scored. I know it's kind of hard to see them in that camera, but we scored it 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to put my die, my arch die. I don't want to cut where the score line is. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my die right up to that score line. Oops, I'm actually going to come over. So I'm going to be just with the curve of that right at the very tip of that card, even from side to side. I am going to secure this with a Post-it. I can find one. My desk is messier than it usually is. So I'm just going to secure that. Now, I don't want to cut where that score line is. So when I place my top plate on, I am going to very carefully, push this over a little bit. I'm going to very carefully line that up with that score line, so that the edge of that die is not cutting. And I don't know if, let me see if I can, let me try to show you exactly, because this is important. If you're not lining this up, let me go here and see if I can zoom. All right, put this here, and I'm going to show you. I'll line it up again when I put it in the machine, but let me just show you. Line that right up. Now you guys can see all of the cut lines in my plates. Okay, so you can see where that score line is right there. When I put this in my die cutting machine, I am going to, another reason to secure this with a Post-it is to keep this straight, and I don't have it straight. All right, like so. So I've got it actually secured to the plate with a Post-it also. All right, so I'm going to come in here with my top plate, and I'm only going to bring that up to the score line. So the die will only cut where it's being pressed. It's not being pressed between plates right here, so this piece of the die will not cut, okay? So let me just roll that back in, get this lined up. I'm going to zoom back out. Sorry. Zoom back out. You guys don't want to see that close. All right. So let me just do this again. I'm going to put this down here a little bit. It gives me a little bit more room. And then put my top plate on, lined right up with that score line. I'm going to hold pressure on that and roll that through. There. All right. Let's see how we did. Put that in there. And these Post-its, honestly, they will stick. These things will stick. So you can see it did the that detail right up to the score line. All right. So this is our middle layer and this is our top layer. So remember how I said we're going to mark them. So on the third score line in, I know you guys can't see that. I'm going to line that up with the bottom and I'm going to mark that there. And then on the first score line, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line that right up with the bottom. And I'm going to put a mark at that first one. And then I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. I'm going to line this up. Now with this trimmer, what's cool about this trimmer, because it does have this see-through track, I can see my mark. Now I cut it, same thing. I scored it at the 3, so I'm going to bring it down to the 3 on the side of my trimmer and cut up. And then I'm going to put that my mark right in the middle of my track there. I'm going to put my blade at the 1 inch and cut up. So I am left with the same thing that we had before, the same thing, like that. And then my scissors here. So we're going to cut on that score line 3, we're going to cut right down to where we cut. And then on score line 1, cut right down to where you cut. And then come from score line 4 to score line 3. And then score line 2 to score line 1, like that. And then we're going to do the same thing. Fold and burnish. And then accordion fold back. And then front. And then back again, like so. Then we'll take our middle layer and our DSP that we cut for it. Make sure that your DSP is going in the right direction. Isn't that purple gorgeous? Look at that purple. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. Then we're just going to come in and put out. And this Stampin' Seal, guys, this stuff is strong. Okay. So I just want to layer in there. Just layering that on. And I'm going to come in here, this section here. So if you fold it here, it's this section that this is going to go on. So just put your adhesive there. And put that right on there. Give yourself just a little bit of room at that score line so that it folds nice and easy. Because there's 2 layers there. You've got the cardstock layer and you've got the DSP that needs to go in there. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to take our final front layer our Lost Lagoon, and we're going to put that on. We're going to just layer that like so. And then I have this tag for my, and I did it again. I wanted to stamp on this before I put the rest of it together. All right, well, I am just testing my skill tonight, apparently. I am just gonna keep testing it. So I'm grabbing the Everyday Arches stamp set. It goes with the dies, and we're gonna just do some stamping. Get my other block, my 2 blocks. So I'm gonna do hello. And then on here, I'm going to do the You Are Simply Fantastic. Now, with the You Are Simply Fantastic, I do have to shape that one. So I'm going to just stamp my hello first so I can get that out of my way. Oh, you know what? You guys, I am going to stamp off. Here's a piece of scrap paper. Let me stamp off. And then I'm going to give this a little, I'm going to make that like ombre. I hope it comes out okay, but yeah. Well, that's not too bad there. Hello. All right, so we have that. And then this one, I'll just set that aside. For this one, I want this to go here, but you see how this, it curves a little bit too much here. So when you close this, it would be closed. So I want to just shape this so that you can see all of that. Now, the way I found to do this before with my sample card was I opened this up, I set this just where it needed to go, placed this, and then with this in place, I just came up and just kind of moved this up a little so that it fit where I wanted it to. And I think that was good there. So we're just going to stamp all that. Oh my goodness, I just put my finger right in that ink pad. Yep, there I did it. I knew I would. I knew I would. Well, at least it's a pretty color. All right. So now I'm just going to come in and stamp that like so. Put that aside. So now that shows like that. This is going to go here. And I did not do the perennial lavender on these ones. That's all right. We can do without them. We'll do the butterflies. We'll just do something with the butterflies. All right, let's put our butterflies together again, like so. Take your pick tool, like that. And like that. Aren't those butterfly bodies really cool? The way I, just with the swiping, that little ombre look, I really like that. Okay. Now let's do some more. These. Those. Like that. Okay, and I'm just going to put that right in the middle there, up on dimensionals. And then this guy, let's put these guys up on some dimensionals too. I am going to lose everything here. Let me just put that one there, and this one. Come on. like so. Peel the backing off, and then I'm gonna put this guy here, and then this guy, put him here, like so. And then we will throw some, let's put these ones on. These ones are cool because they pick up the color that they're near, like a pick up purple or pick up the green. Or all right, move some of this junk out of the way. Let's put some on this card, like so, and like so. There and there. There are our two cards. Now we did using the exact same parts, except I forgot to cut more of those. But using the same colors and the same DSP, we just made two very different looking cards. Now these do stand for display, so they will stand this way for display, like so. You can open them like a book, or you can just pull them open like so. There. So there are our two cards. Yay! And then this is the one I did. This is the only other one that I was able to get done. This was the one that I did just trying to figure out what all of the dimensions were going to be. So I just did this one using some old DSP and just some shapes, but yeah, so there's that one. So I hope you guys like those cards. I don't know, let me know. What do you think? What do you think of these cards? I am really digging this, the arches, and I just got, let me see, I just got a small box of Stampin' Up! Products, and one of the items that I got are these meant to be dies. So you guys know what I'll be doing with these, right? I'm so excited. I'm gonna make some shaped cards. I'm gonna play with those and make some shaped cards. I'm super excited about that. So let me know what you think about these cards. I will be working on the project sheet between now and the weekend, and I'll have the project sheet up. I will put a link. I will do the description of the video. Let me just let me switch back. Oh, thank you, Karen. Yeah, I like these new. I like these shaped. I like doing the shaped cards. They're really cool, just kind of unique. And the thing is, you can do like I just went through a it's like a little photo album that I keep a bunch of different fun fold instructions in. And I pulled out just some that were older, and I thought, just what can I make this using the shaped dies? I thought, that's how the double Z oval came to be. I just, pulled one of my older fun folds out and said, I'm going to do something. I'm going to just play around and do something different. So yeah, I hope that you guys, I hope that you are inspired by these cards. I hope you make your own version of these cards. I would love to see them. So really, if you use the link, which I'll put in the description of this video as soon as I end it. If you use the link to invite yourself to my Pinterest board, and then there's a link for you to actually put your cards on my board, I would love to see them. It makes me feel so good knowing that I have inspired somebody to make beautiful cards. So yeah, I hope to see that your card. So a couple of things just really quick. If you don't already follow me over on Facebook, there will be a link in this video where you can find me over on Facebook. If you just want to go search, it's the Tatted Stamper. You can find me at the Tatted Stamper on Facebook. I do post all of the alternates over there, and let you know when the project sheets are ready for the videos. So yeah, and the Pinterest board. So if you want the Pinterest board, that link will be in the description of the video also. And if you don't already subscribe to my channel, please consider subscribing. Tell your friends about me. I would love to inspire more people. Like my videos and share my videos and comment on my videos. Let me know that you're here. All of your comments really help kind of get the word out. So I will be back. Today is Wednesday. I will be back Sunday morning. It's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with another card, maybe a hexagon card if I can figure out how to make one out of the hexagon. So that will be kind of cool. And yeah, I'll have some more alternates. So I'll be playing with this triple layer oval, so that I'll have some more alternates that I can post over on Facebook for you guys to see. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I hope to see you all on